You know, Nintendo is one of the most litigious companies out there by far in the gaming scene, if not the most litigious. They even have a website that is literally dedicated to them suing people. It's called Nintendo, Sued by Nintendo, where it kind of tracks it as if it's a video game and saying Nintendo has played this game 82 times. It even tracks how many times they've lost, how many times they've won, etc., etc. Well, now we have another situation of Nintendo winning a lawsuit against a Switch mod chip seller. Now, this particular situation has been happening for a while now. Ryan Daly is the person that got sued by Nintendo, and now he's being permanently banned from handling any modded hardware ever again. Not only that, Nintendo has won the lawsuit over a $2 million settlement. Now, here's the weird thing about all of this. Ryan Daly initially said that he didn't do anything wrong. And then, of course, he ended up hiring another lawyer to try to get the job done. Well, apparently, before the lawsuit went any further, they decided to settle for $2 million. And I partially believe it's because he knows he's not going to be able to pay this money. I don't really see how Nintendo is going to be able to get $2 million from this guy. I mean, I don't know if he was rolling in the dough considering everything he was selling, but I got to imagine $2 million for the average person is going to be really hard for them to magically pay Nintendo. So we're going to see the details of this case. We're also going to just take a look at some of their history with the, Sued by Nintendo website. And a reminder, this is also a company that is still suing another company because they got felted in terms of sales for their Pokemon franchise. So it says a Switch mod chip seller who was sued by Nintendo last year but denied any wrongdoing has now officially settled with the company and agreed to pay $2 million. Nintendo has filed a complaint in July of 2024 against Michigan-based Ryan Daly, who operated a store called Modded Hardware. The lawsuit claimed that Nintendo had contacted Daly in March of 2024 and threatened to sue him unless he stopped selling modded Switch consoles and MIG switches, which enable pirated Switch games to be played on unmodded hardware. Now, guys, I want to be very clear. Like, I understand there's a lot of Nintendo fans out there. I understand that people love Nintendo. I understand that Nintendo is one of those companies that has a massive nostalgic fan base. But all I'm gonna say is that if you are partaking in any kind of, like, I don't know, modded scene when it comes to Nintendo, it's only a matter of time before they're going to come after those cheeks, right? It's only a matter of time before the Nintendo ninjas are going to come busting down the door like the FBI, wanting to lock you up or at the very least sue you into oblivion and make sure you can never do what you're doing ever again. They don't care about fan community. They don't care about any of that. Even if people are doing it to have fun in a certain event or whatever the case may be, they don't care. They have been proven to do anything possible to protect their IP, and I totally understand that. They've even gone as far as taking down charity events. Charity events, like, they would actually raise money for a good cause, but because they were using modified games or modified hardware, that was a no-no. They took it down anyway because that's what Nintendo does. So it doesn't matter if you are somebody who is a huge fan of Nintendo. I hate to break it to you, but the company doesn't give a shit. They don't want you enjoying anything outside of their ecosystem. They want to have complete control over literally everything that goes on with their systems and with their games, regardless of whether you buy it or not. It doesn't matter. They want full control over it. So in any case, according to Nintendo's complaint, Daly had originally agreed to stop selling the unauthorized devices, but continued to do so, claiming that he was looking for a new lawyer. Nintendo therefore filed a complaint at a federal court in Seattle, accusing Daly of 6 charges, including trafficking in circumvention devices and copyright infringement. Daly then filed a response to Nintendo's complaint, denying any wrongdoing and listing 17 affirmative defenses of which the defendant introduces evidence which could excuse them from liability, including fair use, invalid copyrights, unjust enrichment, and fraudulent inducement. However, now, rather than taking the case to court, Nintendo and Daly have filed a joint stipulation which agrees that Daly will pay Nintendo $2 million with a permanent injunction that will also be ordered, which will prevent Daly from ever handling, selling, or promoting any modding devices or modded consoles, or providing any documentation or information which might help other people carry out their own mods. Now, here's where it gets very interesting, okay? So Nintendo decides to sue Daly, and Daly ends up settling with Nintendo. Part of that settlement is that Daly can never handle, sell, or promote any modded devices or modded consoles ever again. But I don't see any stipulation being specifically targeting Nintendo consoles. Does this mean that Daly cannot even mod any other consoles, even if the other companies are not suing them? Can he mod a PlayStation console, for example? Can he mod an Xbox console? Is that possible? Or is it all consoles that he is unable, like he can't do anything, basically? basically. Nintendo's original lawsuit claimed that Dally not only sold modded Switch consoles and make Switches to customers, but also offered a mail-in service, which enabled players to send in their Switch consoles and have them returned modded, often with pirated games installed. Now, obviously, what he was doing, not a good thing, right? He's clearly stealing from Nintendo. There's really nothing that he can say or do that's going to validate the fact that he was stealing from Nintendo. I mean, that's literally what's happening here. So I know there's going to be people out there that are going to talk about, oh, if I don't own the game when I buy the license and pirating's not stealing, I get that. But at the end of the day, the law doesn't agree with you, and pirating is absolutely stealing. And if they catch you, I mean, well, that's basically it. Especially if you're running a business, right? Like Dally wasn't just a random consumer. Dally wasn't some random person who just happened to want to mod their Switch. No, Dally was running an actual operating business, and he was selling Switch consoles with mixed switches. It doesn't, like, you guys understand, like, this is clearly stealing here. So I hate to side with Nintendo, but unfortunately the law is going to side with Nintendo. It's pretty obvious at this point. This is why I don't mess with Nintendo consoles. I don't bother streaming Nintendo games. These guys don't care. They really don't care. They'll copyright your channel. They'll do all kinds of stuff. They're insane. Nintendo is legitimately insane. You don't get a website called Sued by Nintendo by being somebody who thinks properly. Like you get a website like this if you're insane. But in any case, typically when a customer purchases a hacked console or circumvention services, defendant pre-installs on the console a portfolio of ready-to-play pirated games, including some of Nintendo's most popular titles, such as Super Mario, The Legend of Zelda, and Metroid games. Yeah, they're not going to let you get away with that. If you are selling and pirating Super Mario, Legend of Zelda, Metroid games, yeah, they're going to come for those cheeks, man. It's only a matter of time. So again, ladies and gentlemen, Nintendo is a very litigious company. They are going to do everything they possibly can. They are known for sending cease and desist to damn near everybody. There was even indie showcases that were making jokes about Pokemon-like video games where they had the people who were doing the show make a little skit about a Nintendo cease and desist letter being sent to the developer. I mean, everybody knows this is how Nintendo is, and they are currently going through a massive lawsuit right now with Palworld that we all know about, and we're all waiting to see what the outcome of that particular lawsuit is going to be. I am very curious to see who is going to win this lawsuit between Nintendo and Palworld. We all know why Nintendo is suing Palworld. This is not the same situation. Nintendo's suing this guy who's actually taking their products and trying to basically make a profit by giving it away for free. That is a major problem. Somebody else making a video game that happens to have similar looking content to what your video game is, and then you want to say that they stole it completely, well, that's insane. It's so insane that Nintendo's even rewriting patent laws within the case going on right now. They're rewriting their patents during the lawsuit. It is wild what Nintendo is doing. But in this particular situation, I unfortunately have to agree with Nintendo. It's pretty clear that the guy was doing this. It's pretty clear he was making profits off of it. And I'm really shocked that he thought he could continue to do this for as long as he did. So you guys can let me know in the comments down below. What do you think about this lawsuit with Nintendo? Do you think they were in the right? Do you think they were in the wrong? Do you think you don't care? Regardless, whatever it may be, leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. And if you enjoyed it, consider hitting that like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one.